Coming up on the show, what are the most realistic landing spots for the frustrating five? Which players are expected to shine in pre-season? We build a United squad for Ruben Amorim. A player's potential move to the club is described in pure poetry. And there's an impassioned rant against the current ownership that will lift every United fan to their feet. This is Fergie's Gum, a Manchester United podcast. Hello and welcome to Fergie's Gum. My name's Nathan and I'm joined by my good friend, Mr. Paul Cropper, all the way from Bury. How are you doing, mate?
I'm alright, pal. I sound a bit like Barry White, but I'm here. Sore throat, but I turned up.
That's it. You'll be moistening loins with that voice, mate. With the old gravelly voice.
I just wanted my appearance bonus, didn't I? Just wanted my appearance bonus. That's all I'm after.
Last 5 minutes, he's on. He's got his 500 quid. There you go.
Like I said, I've turned up more than can be said for Ineos, this week.
Oh, mate. Well, that's interesting, actually, because that's exactly what I was going to talk about first. The fact that there hasn't been any news, and I think this happened last week, there hasn't really been any news apart from the fact that there has been no news. Ineos seem to be sitting on their hands. Brian Mbeumo still hasn't signed for Manchester United. The 5 players that we were planning to shift 3 weeks ago, or maybe even 18 months ago, are still at the club. It's as you were, right?
It is as you were. It's like, it's not great for us to talk about stuff, is it? But we're going to have a good moan at them. But yeah, there's no movement anywhere really. It feels like you're leading up to something, but you never actually get there. That's how it's felt the past 4 weeks. Is it now? You feel it's like Groundhog Day, isn't it? Every time you talk, you're thinking, right, we're going to do something this week. And Tuesday, we'll get something done on a Tuesday. And Friday. And then you're like, well, it's not going to be another week now, is it? But yeah, 5 players are hanging on for dear life, aren't they still? Still hanging on.
They are. I think that's probably the best place to start because we do still have the 5 players, Rashford, Garnacho, Sancho, Malacia and Antony. This week, things got slightly worse for them. Not only were they told not to return back for pre-season or that they could have a bit more time to try and find another club, but they were told this week that, yes, they can use the training facilities at Carrington, but only after 5 p.m. when everyone else has left, which is, ridiculous, unreal. Like a night shift, basically. Come in. I don't know how long they're scheduled to work for, but I don't imagine they're sticking around for long if everyone's gone home. Anyway,
graveyard shift.
Exactly. We're still no nearer to the exit for any of them. And it's a bit of a mess to the unfantastic 5. But let's be real. Let's have a look at this properly. Where do you think the realistic landing spots are for these players? And we'll start with Rashford. We'll go with the easiest one, I think. Because he's got a destination in mind. But where do you say
the easiest one, Nathan? I don't see. I've put Barcelona or bench. That's all I've put. Because he's backed himself into such a corner of saying, I want Barcelona. Bayern Munich seemed to be a viable option, didn't it, at one point? And then, we said this last week, they've gone in a different direction now.
They're hot on Luis Diaz, though, now, aren't they? So it feels like...
Yeah, but Liverpool really have rejected bids for him, haven't they? But yeah, we'll see what happens there. But he seems to have just said, I only want top clubs. I don't think top clubs will be interested. I really don't. At Barcelona, maybe a different situation. But bear in mind, you think of their front 3. Rashford doesn't start, so he's going there as a substitute anyway. Nobody in the Premier League, I don't believe, will go near Rashford. I've seen a lot of his Instagrams and his posts, and he always does his pre-season. He does put the work in pre-season. I don't think it's a work ethic kind of thing with him off the pitch. It doesn't seem to be anyway, because he don't seem to mind training. It's like his head's just gone when he gets on the pitch or when he gets in a club. Thinking around Europe, would Rashford move to Turkey? I don't think he would. I don't think any top Italian team are going to be looking at him and say, we fancy Marcus Rashford. I think it's only because of his name and because he's been at United for so long that he's maybe got options. Because if this was anybody else moving from another club, nobody would be interested, especially at them wages. And is that what's crippling Rashford? It is. It's the wages that are crippling him. But if he drops them 50%, most of Europe is still going to say no. Yeah, I'm struggling for Rashford. I'll be honest with you, mate.
I think this is we're probably going to find this is going to be the common thread through these 5 players that we're talking about. But I think it's the salaries that they won and the salaries that they're being offered are a million miles apart. And that's because of Manchester United has overinflated how much they're actually paying for these players per week. Yeah. So he's given them the idea that this is how much I'm worth and I'm settling for nothing less, 350 grand a week for Marcus Rashford. He's getting that nowhere else. Absolutely nowhere else, unless he goes to Saudi, and I can't see it. So for me, I know you mentioned Barcelona there. I still think Barcelona is probably the most likeliest option. However, I can't see him playing again in the Premier League. But what I can see is him going on loan somewhere. And you mentioned before that you can't see him going to like Serie A because they won't be able to afford him. I completely agreed. But I think if United are forced into it, they'll just let him go on loan and they'll have to hoover up his salary again. So I could see him going to someone like AC Milan, like Inter Milan, one of the top sides, and I can see him doing well there for a little bit. But even at Aston Villa, he faded. There was all this clamour from the media, and they were saying, "Oh, he's amazing! Look at this, he's rejuvenated. Shackles are off. Look at how well it's going." And then, towards the end of that stint, I know he got injured, but towards the end of that stint, it was 6, 7 out of 10 games. Do you know what I mean? So,
well, he says everything, Nathan, that they didn't take the option up, doesn't it? They've obviously looked at him and said, "No, we don't fancy it."
I also think
the AC Milan ones,
mate. They're skip as well, no.
But even if they had money, I don't think they'd be looking at the Rashford avenue, would they? I don't even think. It's funny we mentioned the AC Milan one. They have got a record the past few years, haven't they, of getting English players, taking them on and doing that. But alone is absolutely no good for us, though, is it? Absolutely no good for us. We need cash. We need money. If this goes to transfer deadline day, which I think the majority of these probably are going to be dragged out transfer deadline day, what's the minimum? What's your baseline you're saying as a fee for Rashford? What if someone says, right, we're going to offer you 15 million, do you snatch your hands off?
Well, I think that's what the buying clubs will be hoping for. Absolutely. They'll be hoping that for all 5 of these players. They'll be hoping that they can push it right into the end of the window and then just lowball bid it in. But I think the minimum that you can expect for someone like Rashford, I think, is 40 mil. 100%.
Yes.
Because I think he could go somewhere and he could do a massive job. For United, I think that 40 mil, when it's spread across the, as is a youth product, when it's spread across the years, I think it's something like, is it like 80, 90 mil? Like spread across the books that it's worth to them. So they'll want as much money as they can possibly get. So 40 mil, to a buying team, that's fine. To United, that's worth close to 100 million.
So if just hypothetically speaking, do you dig your heels in then? If you don't get that 40 million, just let Rashford sit on the bench, let him train the graveyard shift, continue that for the next 6 months till January. Or this is a situation we're having to think about now, aren't we?
I think you're right. I think with Rashford, and the reason why I put him first is because out of all of these players, he's the only one that I can see could still potentially have a future at Manchester United. I know that things have got really desperate. I know he's been stripped of the number 10. I know he's fallen out with Amorim and the powers that be. But he wants to play in the World Cup next year. And he wants to put on his best display. The worst thing that he can do for himself now is try and go somewhere where he's going to get like a high salary. I think if you can get out now for 150 grand a week and the potential to play in the World Cup next year, I think you have to do it. Because otherwise, you're going to be sat at Manchester United, you'd be getting 350 grand a week, but you're going to have to try your hardest to get into the team. You're going to have to become an asset again to the team, because if you want to play in the World Cup, you've got no choice. So it would have to be a real turnaround for him. But out of these 5 that we're going to be talking about, he's the only one that I could ever see putting on a shirt again. God knows what number he'd be.
Not for me, mate. I don't think you can have him around the club. I think it's just bad news. It's a story. It's all over Sky Sports News. It's all over TalkSport. It's a distraction we don't need. Can't have, unfortunately, Rashford around the club anymore. And that's
well,
I think the manager's at.
As we move on, we'll move further down the list. And I mean, none of these players are in favour right now. But Garnacho's another one that you don't really want around the club next season. I think we've spoke long and hard about the fact that Garnacho has been a really disruptive presence at Manchester United, not just during the bad times and at the end of the season, but throughout the season, and his relatives getting involved on social media and, him just trolling United fans and his employers by wearing that Aston Villa shirt, Rashford on the back. I think he's another one that you want to get rid of as soon as possible. But the closest, I'll go first on this one. The one team that I think he'll end up going to is Napoli.
Yes, that's what I've got as well, yeah.
However, I think Billy Big Balls thought he was going to have his choice of clubs because Chelsea had made inquiries about him, Napoli had made inquiries about him, a couple of other teams had a couple
of Spanish clubs as well, don't they? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And, they'd all made these inquiries. And I think him and his entourage were probably like, we'll have our pick of a few clubs come the end of the season. And the latest team that he was linked to the other day was Aston Villa. They're keeping an eye on the situation because he wants to stay in the Premier League. I don't think he gets into that Chelsea team, even if they do buy him. No. And I think that's got a sting. Someone of his personality, and clearly he thinks he's going to be the next Ronaldo. I think that's got a sting. You're going from, I'm going to go to Chelsea on this huge project and on X amount of money per week. And then it's like, oh, they haven't come in for me. They bought all these players. I'm not one of them. And now I'm being linked to the bloody Midlands.
Yeah, well, similar thing happened with Rashford, didn't it? He thought he'd have the pick of all these clubs and then ended up at Aston Villa. But like you said, he's going to hurt all their egos, all this. Every single one of the players that we're talking about, their egos are going to be damaged. Everybody seemed interested in Garnacho until it came out that we slapped a 70 million asking price on. And then they all kind of went, oh, wow, no, don't fancy that. I think 35, 40 million. See, we're looking at £40 million. I think you get a few more interested. But like you said, the kid's not a starter, is it? He's not going to go somewhere and start every game. So who's going to pay 35, 40 million for potential that we've seen?
You say that about him. You say he's not a starter, but he played a majority of games last season for Manchester United. It's not like he wasn't given his chances. So
but look where we finished, Nathan.
Exactly, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. That's exactly what I mean. But to the point that we talked about, maybe it was me and Ahmad that talked about this before, but when he had that complaint after the Europa League final, I should have started, blah, 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 Amorim had a good 6 months to see what you could do, and he decided you wasn't the best person for that position. Maybe he was right, maybe he was wrong, but he's had a good body of work there to have a look at and go, no, this game, not for me. You're not the person for me. And if he's looking at him as his employer and he's played him all those games and he's his coach, sees him every day and he doesn't fancy it, you got to look at the other teams and go, is it worth this? Is it worth 70 million? Is it worth 40 million? Like, I don't know. I still think the Napoli thing will come through. I still think that will happen.
I think once we're waiting on all these deals, aren't we? And we're probably going to talk about Bayern and Bumo in a bit. But you see that they're trying to buy players, they're trying to sell players, and it all has a knock-on effect, doesn't it, with a lot of these. So like Osimhen going from Napoli, once they get the money for that, you can see them investing in that and other players. So you're waiting on that. Which the issue is we can't wait. We cannot wait around, and we are waiting on these to go to get people in, and these other clubs know that, and they'll play it like a fiddle, won't they? That's what they'll do.
Yeah, of course.
But Garnacho, he's another one. Not got many options, has he? He's not got many options.
No.
Atletico Madrid.
Possibly. Oh, I know. But they were linked to someone today, actually. Who was it?
They always seem to pull money from nowhere, don't they? Atletico Madrid. Where do you get your money from, lad? Come on.
Well, I think they're going to get a decent amount for Rodrigo De Paul, aren't they? Because he's going
to Miami.
Yeah, into Miami. So they'll get a decent amount of cash for him. But they were linked to someone recently. I can't remember who it was. It was a target that United had looked at. Maybe it was that Richard Rios or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
From Palmeiras. So, maybe. Moving on, Sancho. Sancho's a difficult one, but I think he's a difficult character. But I think United are just going to have to bite the bullet. And there was a rumour today that they're going to have to pay him off by about 4 mil to get him off the books, because he's refusing to go to another club without that 250 grand, 300 grand a week. Because he said no to Chelsea. Chelsea offered him 180 grand a week, and he said no because he wanted the rest. And I think somewhere in his, I think maybe his advisors, maybe somewhere in his brain as well, I think the realization is suddenly coming into view that his career's not going to last very long. That he's not going to be one of those that's going to be, playing up until he's 35 or whatever it is, at the top level. I think he's going to be a journeyman that's going to end up 29, 30. He'll do his stints in Turkey. He'll do stints in Saudi. He'll do stints in the US. That's the type of player I can see him as now. And I think he knows that. So that's why he wants the bag now. I think
like a Wilfred Zaha, that kind of thing, where Zaha got moved around. Yeah, you can see it. He doesn't look like he loves the game anymore, does he, Sancho? You look at him, he just doesn't look like he loves it. I don't know. I thought he loved it in Germany, didn't he? Do you know what? You asked me a few questions about this, and I put down, where could Sancho go? Straight away, I thought Turkey suits him. Straight away, that's just where I thought. I think they'll probably pay him close to his wages if we just let him go, which I think is the option that United will probably end up taking up. I also put, who's got money around Europe? Who's got I thought of Leverkusen, and then I realised who the manager was.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's not
happening.
But I thought Germany, Leverkusen, they got a bit of money, and then I thought Eric's not having him back through the door, is he, after the issues that he caused him? So I put a stopper to that one. But you automatically think Sancho back to Germany will do well. But even his second spell at Dortmund, they didn't seem to. They didn't fancy him, did they? So
I think it is.
I think Turkey for Sancho for me, mate.
For me, it's down to his salary. I think that's the stumbling block.
100%, yeah.
And I think he'll go to. There's no smoke without fire with this. He's been linked to Juventus for enough times in the press now that I think he's probably going to go there. I don't think we'll get a massive fee for him. I think we'll be looking to get 15, 20 mil for him, and I think United will have to pay him off his severance package, because he's just not going to leave without it. We've mishandled this. He's in a position now where he basically hates the club. The club hate him. That's how I can see it. Anyway, there's no way back for either of them. We can't have a marriage of convenience anymore. So whatever the necessary thing is to get rid of him, they're just going to have to do it. So pay him off, get him out of the club.
Nope. Go, mate. Sorry. Yeah. Crack on. Good luck.
Yeah.
Get out.
Well, not even good luck and not even sorry. Just get out.
Yeah. Just get out.
Sod off.
Yeah.
One player that I do feel slightly sorry for is Terrell Malacia, who's also one of these 5 that apparently handed in a transfer request, which I don't believe, by the way. I don't believe any of them did.
They don't hand in transfer requests. Ben Foster was saying there's something this week, wasn't he, about you don't do that because you're forfeiting everything.
And Ben Foster's always got to be in his bonnet about United anyway, because I think he never quite made it at United, and there was all those rumours that he just didn't have the mentality to deal with it at United. And I think, I don't know him. He seems like a nice guy and that, but he also sounds like a person that might have a little bit of an axe to grind with United. So I regardless of whether he said it or not, I still don't believe that they handed in transfer requests, because simply why would you?
Money.
Why would you ever do that?
That's literally why. It's money in it. There, they don't forfeit money, these lads, for anything, do they? As we can see, if they forfeited money, they'd have all had moved 6 weeks ago, wouldn't they? So it shows you where these lads are at. Do we put football first or money? Well, they've all put money first, haven't they? So there you go.
Exactly. So with Terrell Malacia, the one thing that was it did make me laugh in the gallows humour type of way, but there was a United Twitter account that posted something along the lines of, "I'm surprised the Mo League club aren't looking to pick up Malacia in this window." And then there was a response underneath it that said, "Bro, you are the Mo League club." And I mean, you can't argue with it. You can't argue. No one's going to pick him up. Nope. Even someone that you would consider like a top 10 club or a club that's in the lower leagues, you wouldn't even think of him going to Wolves. Do you know what I mean? Or Brighton. Or who else? You wouldn't even consider him going Palace. You just can't.
He wouldn't get in the team, Nathan, would he?
Exactly. And that's why I can only see the most natural place for him is to go back to the Eredivisie. I don't know who he'll be playing with in the Eredivisie, but he'll go back there. He'll sit on the bench for a bit. I feel sorry for him. He's had bad injuries, and I don't think United did very well in rehabilitating him. But he's fallen off massively. His stock has completely flatlined, and I think Eredivisie on the bench, maybe back at Feyenoord.
You just let him go, don't you? Let him go and just go, mate. Yeah, good luck with your injuries. Good luck with your career. Just never happened, did it? He never took off. Never seemed settled. Like you say, the injuries never helped, obviously. But there was a bit of mystery around his injury. He just seemed to go missing for like a year, didn't he? And you never heard anything. I
had heard from like someone that's connected with the club. And like, I'll spare the actual information, but it sounds like there's a squeaky clean image there that is basically, it's not justified. And I think they said that about Rashford as well, and that obviously came true.
Okay.
But there's, it's one thing to feel sorry for him, but then he hasn't done himself any favours, let's just say that.
Right, okay, right, yeah. There's a lot of that, isn't there? There is a lot of that, but yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole reason. That's the whole reason why you have like a communications department. You squash these things. The Mason Greenwood thing, apparently that wasn't his first indiscretion at the club. There were plenty more of those that the club squashed that no one really knew about, or that never got out into the press. But that's what the club has to do. They have to protect their own. And I think with Malacia, they kind of looked at it and was like, is it an asset that we want to keep? Is it an asset that's appreciating in value? Probably not. Maybe cut him out, which is why he was lumped in with those names. And the final one we'll get to in a second. But why he was lumped in with those names is, they've handed in transfer requests. So, get used to not being at the club anymore.
In the bin, mate. Get in the bin.
Exactly. The last one is Anthony. Now, the weird one about Anthony is Betis clearly want him. They haven't just forgotten about everything that he did in that loan spell. They clearly want to buy him. And they would do pretty much, well, as Meatloaf said, he'd do anything for both, but they won't do that, which that is paid the exact amount of money that Manchester United want. So in that case. But I think he will end up at Betis, but I think they are playing a very, very clever game where they've got all of their main targets now. Because they've had money and they've spent money and they bought the players that they want, but I think they're going to go to deadline day and hope that they can pick Anthony up for, like, that United just say, yeah, okay, we'll take 20 million for him or 30
20,
million.
25 million. I think he'll have more options, Anthony. I do. After the season, Betis won't be his only option.
That's the thing, and that's what I think Manchester United are probably hoping for right now. I think they're hoping that a bidding war is established by a team, probably from the Liga, that are like, I fancy him as well. Then I fancy getting him in because we saw what he could do against top opposition in this league. There will be someone that's out there, but mate, all five of those players is going down to the wire because everyone knows that United needs to sell them.
No, so it's not good. It's not good for us, Nathan, is it? I keep saying it. It's just, how do you can't move on with your own. This is what Ineos have done, is they've not allowed us to move on with our summer because they've not forced these lads out. They should have been gone. There shouldn't be all these stories. Oh, they're in training. It's bad PR again. Coming in training later on. It sounds petty and it sounds pathetic. But that's what you have to do when you've not moved them out of the club already. Get them gone. Yeah. Get them out. I'll save my rant until we finish this section, and save my voice as well. But yeah, we'll go back to the Anthony situation where I think he will have more suitors, 4, 5 or 6. Turkey again. They'll be looking at him. The Liga teams will be looking at him. But you're thinking who's got money, and like you say, Betis have done a lot of outs. They've done a few ins, and I won't be surprised if they've held a few quid back just to get him back. He enjoyed his time there, didn't he? He's comfortable there. He looked happy there. That's possibly level where he can flourish. Good luck to the kid, because I don't think out of all these guys that we're talking about, Anthony's, it wasn't his work rate, his endeavour, his hunger for the game. It was literally, he wasn't physical enough. He wasn't powerful enough. He wasn't fast enough for the Premier League, and that was it. There's nothing wrong with that. I think he worked hard. I think he tried for the team, and you could see he wanted to win, and he wanted to try his best. And he was gutted when he didn't. I think it was a few times he broke down in tears. So for Anthony, out of all these ones, I hope he goes on and does well. I really do. And I think he will, especially in that sometimes the league just doesn't suit you. That league does.
Okay, let's try and lift the mood a little bit. It's been a bit miserable to kick off with, but maybe there's something that we can get excited about now. So let's talk about pre-season, which kicks off this Saturday, right? We're against Leeds United in Norway, I think it is. And then we travel to Chicago on Tuesday with or without Ryan and Mbeumo. But I thought it would be a good chance to maybe just talk about the one player. And you're smiling because I know for a fact you've got more than one written down and you're going to go through an entire list of players here. But the one player you're most excited to see on pre-season tour. Go on, then. Go on, rattle through your 50 names, mate.
We've only signed one proper player, haven't we? So you'll go with Cunha. I can't wait to see him in the United shirt, to be fair. I think he's brilliant. Good signing, good age, abilities, brilliant. I think he'll lift the team. He's what we needed, creativity and goals-wise, isn't it? Watched him for Brazil a bit as well. Yeah, I think he's brilliant, and just looking forward to what he can do. He excites you, doesn't he? When he gets on the ball, he does excite. He likes to beat a man. Got that nastiness and arrogance about. We've not really spoke a lot about Cunha, have we, to be honest with you, past 3-4 weeks. We've just been getting wound up about all the ins and outs, not haven't we? But yeah, really looking forward to him. I think he is a ready-made United player. And I don't quite know if everybody understands the kind of player we've got now. I think he's top level. Really looking forward to seeing him in pre-season. Really looking forward to seeing what he can do in that team. But he needs more around him. But yeah, really looking forward to seeing Cunha. Really,
absolutely.
It just gets you off your seat, doesn't he? Where every time he gets the ball, you think he's going to do something. And I know we talk about how bad YouTube highlights are and stuff like that. We've all seen Cunha for the past few years, and we've seen what he can do. Excites me. A few City fans were saying when he went to their place as well, they couldn't believe how good he was when you watch him live. How strong he is as well. Yeah, really, really, really excited to see him in there.
Okay. I'm sure you've got a list of special mentions.
I have.
You?
I was going to let you go though, but do you want me to go on my special mentions?
It's all right. Go on.
Okay.
Special mentions. Go on, mate.
Do you know what? It's more so the development of players that I want to see. So it's the kids that Kobe. I want to see him kick on. He's an absolute unit, that kid, isn't he? You seen the size of him? I know he's strong, but I didn't realise he were built like that. Do you know when the likes of Beckham and Giggs came in and took off, didn't he? But there were a pre-season where Beckham, especially, and he just kicked on 3 or 4 levels. Do you remember that? And he came and you thought, he's a good player, but then all of a sudden you just went, wow. I'm looking forward to seeing if Cobb. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you come back and we've got a real player there. And I'm hoping the same maturity has happened with Kobe, and that he kicks on, but also finds a place in the team, finds his place in that six, because it seemed like you're just sticking him wherever. You can't let a player like that waste on the bench. You have to find a place in your team. And I don't see a reason he can't do that 6. Whether they're working on his fitness and his sharpness and the closing down, but he should be in our team for the next 10 years. He's that good technically. He's one of us. We saved one of us. Yeah, he's another one I'm looking forward to see, just because I want to see if he has kicked on, if he's got his place in the team solidified, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I really want to see that midfield built around.
Well, that's interesting actually, because pre-season will obviously give us an idea of one, what formation we're going to be using. Is Amorim going to tweak it at all, or is he going to stick with his philosophy that he forced those players into playing last season? And it will also give us a chance to see where he thinks players like Kobbie Mainoo are going to play. Because like you say, there isn't a natural position for him right now. If he was to be told, like, dropping into a position, where are you putting him? You putting him as a 10 alongside Cunha? Are you putting him deep to sit and dictate passes? Is he physical enough to do that? Is he quick enough to play box to box? I don't think he is. But it'll be by pre-season, as we know, this is the time when we get to kind of see what Amorim's thinking, and that is going to be one of the big questions for Amorim this summer.
But you have to find a place in the team from there. You have to. You can't just let him rot on the side. You have to say, right, that's your position, and because he's a kid, work on it. He's not. He might just not go in there and be brilliant straight away. He might find he needs 4 or 5 games to be like, oh, right, yeah, this is what I should be doing. And hopefully I'm sure they are working with him and they know how good he is. Hopefully let him learn the position, because he's never played. He kind of played of an 8, didn't he? He was in the midfield 3.
Yeah.
And for someone just to come in, right, we're changing the formation. This is what we're doing now. He probably went, hang on a minute, I've never played in a They call it a double pivot, don't they? I know a few people will be whinging at me later on for saying that kind of thing. But Kobbie, come on, please.
Where do you think his best position is?
In the midfield 3. In that formation. Yeah.
For me, he plays as one of the 10s. Now, whether that means like rotating him in and out with a Cunha, with an Mbeumo, like, I don't know if that's what the plan would be if Mbeumo does sign, but I think he's better closer to goal, because he's able to have that quickness of thought, to play in the pass, to play a through ball, to take a man on and then score. I don't think he's great at running from deep, because I don't think he's very fast. And I think he'd probably get knocked off the ball quite quickly. But that's just me. Personally, I think the closer he plays to the 18-yard box, the more useful he is for Manchester United.
I disagree in a few ways. Personally, I think if Bruno can do that job, I don't see why he can't do it, playing deeper. He probably needs to learn the position more, because Bruno was coming deep, getting the ball, playing it off. I don't see why he can't do that. Someone like an Adam Wharton would slot in there and play that position perfectly, wouldn't it? Why can Kobbie not do that? I bet he's physical, he's big, he's strong. Maybe he's not sharp enough, but
that's one of the. I get what you're saying. I think one of the main issues that was levelled at Mainoo last season, and it was all there for us to see, he wasn't fit enough. That was the thing. That was the worrying thing. It's not like when you talk about, well, Bruno can do that position. Yeah, he can, because he's a machine. He just keeps going, and he can run up and down the pitch. And yes, he does look ragged at times, but he will get up and down the pitch. There was times when you looked at Cobbin trying to trap back. I think he was trying to trap back against Mateta in one game against Palace, and you're looking at him and you're like, "Ooh, wow, he's running through treacle."
He had a parachute on his back.
Yeah. Oh no, you're by me trying to run back, but I don't have time on my side. Or you. So that's what it looked like. So,
that's more of a out of possession issue, isn't it? Because in possession, I don't think it's a problem, and I think that's why Ruben dragged him off a few times, because even with Ugarte, he's saying you're not sharp enough at the ball. So when we're defending, and I think that's a lot of the managers, how he plays this game is you have to be aggressive and an animal out of possession, and that's something maybe sometimes you're not even built with that. It's players are just hungry to get the ball back, and it's built in them. Maybe he might be a bit too laid back to do it. I don't know the kid, obviously, but the manager will know him more. But you can teach someone when to press, when to go. Right, this is when there's a sideways pass, then we all press. That's the triggers that they'll be working on. And because he's so young, he can. You think about certain players that position of the of the 6 is quite a mature position of getting the ball and giving it and stuff like that. Some kids can't do it until they get to 28, 29, 30. So, don't know, but you have to get him in the team somewhere. The other one I just wanted to shout out, Nathan, before you move on, sorry, was Chido Obi. I don't know what it is about him.
He was the obvious one. He was the obvious one.
I don't know what it is about him. He's got... I've no idea what it is, but every time he's in the team or he's in the youth team, I want to watch him. I want to see what he does. He's got this aura. I don't know if it's his size, his reputation. Could we got him from Arsenal? But whenever I've seen him, he always gets a chance or two, and he doesn't seem to do anything much but get a chance, scores, finishes very well. There's a certain aura about him that draws you to when he plays. When he comes on, you kind of, he's on the pitch. What's he going to do? And he always does something. He always, literally, the ball drops at his feet. And like I say, I think there was a game where, I can't remember the game, Hoyland played for maybe 70 minutes, did nothing.
Is it the Hong Kong 11?
Is that what it was?
When it was 1-0 down.
That's right, yeah. And he came off the bench and produced. And you're thinking, yeah, there's something about that kid that is special. Hopefully, he gets a few more games this season, because he could kick on and go through to the sky. We don't know where his limit is, but yes, something about that kid. I look forward to watching him every time.
Well, I did message Ahmad, and I was asking him who he's most excited to see on pre-season tour. He just replied with Tyler Fletcher. Didn't actually explain why, but he's a man of economical use of words. So I'm sure he's got his reasons as Ahmad.
Right. Okay.
But again, it'd be interesting to see if both the Fletcher brothers do go on tour, and it'd be nice to see how they do fit in and how they get on around the team. My personal choice was the madman, the mad new boy, Diego Leon. He literally got us excited for pre-season by claiming that he's going to kill it in pre-season, because everyone thinks he's going to go out on loan. And I'm looking forward to him bringing some mad dog flair down that left-hand side.
Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, I look forward. There was a few clips of him in training, warming up, and he just looked like a man at an all-inclusive buffet ready to eat everything, didn't he?
Yeah.
He just looked hungry.
He's got two plates. He's got 2 plates.
Yeah, he's got that look in his eye, hasn't he? Of determination, is that the word? But yeah. No, I'm looking forward to it. All of the, when you've not seen a player properly and you pre-season, you do look forward to seeing them, don't you?
That's it. That's the whole point. Yeah. That's the whole point of pre-season, and it's a way to gauge where they are in their their careers and where they are in their physicality as well. Can they adapt to being on the big stage playing for Manchester United? Can they do something when the chips are down, but in a slightly less pressured situation? In a friendly, and how do they fit in to the squad? That's the other thing. Yeah. That's the whole reason why they go away on these pre-season tours. And I'll give before I wrap this section up, the 2 other players that I'm looking forward to see as well is, and it's just as there are positions there that they could potentially claim throughout the season. Radek Vitek, the goalkeeper, who there's been a lot of good things said about him, and with Onana out, and we'll get onto transfers later, with Onana being out, it's going to be interesting to see how that goalkeeping situation develops. So Vitek's got a chance to stake a claim for that number 1 spot. Bayendir's got a chance to stake his claim for that. We never know. I know you're raising your eyebrows there, but I mean, it gives these kids a chance. I mean, Tommy is not going to do it, is he? No.
Bayendir's had his chance, hasn't he? Bayendir's had his chance to these lines.
I feel like he has, but he'll get another chance on pre-season tour. Then the other one, who it was expected he might go out on loan this season, but Sekou Kone was another one that I'm looking forward to seeing.
Yeah, I've heard only good things about him in the kids team, the youth team.
Yeah, and it was because there was a big rumour that he was going to go to Lausanne, I think, where we just sent that Karnabiak You know, the lad that we bought from
Le Havre.
Was it Le Havre? Yeah. We sent him there, and I think Sekakoni was potentially going to be going out there as well. But it looks like he's going to be around for pre-season at least, and he's that tider in midfield. He's got that dynamism, and I think he could do big things. So, you know, let's see how it works out for these players on pre-season. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your favourite time of the week when Mr. Paul Cropper sings.
Oof. Cropper's transfer corner.
It's weak, this
sore
one.
Throat version. So, yeah, sore throat version.
You could have done it Barry White style, mate. You could have gone deep.
Rasping.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we wanted. I thought the ghost of Barry White might have taken you then, but no. Disappointed, mate. Disappointed. Hopefully I'm not disappointed about what you picked out for the transfer corner all this week. What have you got for us?
No, there's a few more stories just creeping around. Start off, Estupiñán, Ecuador international from Brighton. Don't know where that pops up. It's on a few of things, BBC Sport, etc. 30-40 million from Brighton. Left back, we've seen him quite well. We've seen him do bits from the league. 30-40 million. It's not a bad signing. Does that mean Dorgu goes to the other side? Not sure where it's come from, but yeah, it's on a few things. Thoughts?
See, that is the one position that we're probably over capacity for. Dorgu just signed Diego Leon, Harry Amas, and Roberto Shawlos. Like, you know, we're short down that left-hand side. I know he's a forgotten man, but even Masraoui can play there. And Darrow can play on that side. Not very well, of course, but he can play on that side as well. So signing another 40, what would you say, 30-40 mil?
30-40 million is what the reports are, yeah.
I think it's an incredibly mad waste of money if you're going to be doing that. I know he's better than what we've got, but
he is better than what we've got, actually, yeah.
But you would need to start selling those players. And like, why buy Diego Leon? Why even have Harry Amas in the team? Why keep Shaw? Unless Shaw's going to move back to, which I can see, he might moving back to left centre back position.
Yeah, you can see him. That's where Shaw's position will be. But yeah, he's a bit, like I said, reporting in a few places. It made me think, it's another name we've not heard, and then all of a sudden for it to pop up. Yeah, I can't say no to that because, like you say, he's better than what we've got. Can't say no.
True. I think it would make more sense if it came at the end, towards the end of the window when everything else is wrapped up, because it would be a luxury that you could then afford as long as you got everything else sorted out, like a striker, for example, and a goalkeeper.
Yeah. We'll just move on to the next one. You mentioned striker then.
Let's go.
The reports were yesterday and possibly the day before. I've not spoken to anybody who thinks it's a good idea. Nicholas Jackson from Chelsea. Surplus to requirements. Your face there. Surplus to requirements after they bought two proper strikers. United have apparently made inquiries. Chelsea looking for a fee of £40 million. Oh, Nathan.
I mean, as I butchered last night, I'm sorry, Nick Jackson, this can't be real. To quote Acast, but you know, I'm paraphrasing Acast there, but it's an absolute no from me. And the reason for that, and you just covered it, they bought two proper strikers to take them up the league, which says what? If they're even considering getting rid of Nick Jackson, what are they? What's that to us? Do you know what I mean? I just don't think if he's not good enough to play for Chelsea, then he's not good enough to play for Manchester United. And he's got a whiff of the old Mason Mounts about it. Like, you know, they'll take us for a ride on this one. And I keep seeing the fact that they might even be a trade or a swap with Garnacho, which, I mean, it's two things. United would be stupid to even entertain that as a thought. But I can't see them doing it because, again, Garnacho on the books is is double the price or 60% more of the price spread across numerous years because he's a homegrown talent. So United will want to get money for him. I just can't see them doing it. So yeah, please,
it's a definite
no.
Yeah, no, it's a definite no from me. I'd rather stick with what we've got. To be fair, never. I didn't rate him when he was at Chelsea. Didn't think. Oh, every time I watched him, I thought, well, no offense to that, he's pretty garbage, isn't it? But there you go. That's my opinion. Yeah, it's a no from me, mate. Moving on is a lad we've seen at Lyon. Just trying to find this. Corentin Tolisso, 30-year-old midfielder. I know Ahmad speaks very highly of him. Seen him a few times. It seems to just stall his career at Bayern Munich, but he's being linked with United. Holding midfielder, tidy on the ball. Had a good season at Lyon. 32 matches, 7 goals, 4 assists. I think we were linked with him maybe 6-7 years ago, to be honest with you. Maybe when he was 23, 24. But he's a midfielder that we do need. They're only looking for 15, 20 million. I think Lyon are in a bit of trouble, aren't they? They need to start selling players. It's one that's reported in a few places as well. And we do need another midfielder in there. I wouldn't be dead against it. Maybe slot in one of them 60s quite comfortably.
I think when Jim Ratcliffe came out, and you remember it was one of the first interviews that he did when he absolutely slaughtered Casemiro, even though it wasn't his fault, was saying we just spent 60 million on this player with I'm paraphrasing again. There was no resale value on him, and we bought him at the tail end of his career, and it was something that he railed against, that we'll never make those mistakes again. So, it doesn't matter if he's 15 million euros or he's 50 million euros. There's no resale value on Tolisso, and I think the profile of players that they want to put through the team is a lot younger. I think United would much prefer. I think it's mischief making. Basically, I don't think we're running to him. Even though it's been reported, I think it's mischief making. I think United would much prefer to put Sekou Groni in the team, give him 5 appearances that season, and sell him if he doesn't work out at the end of the season for 30 million. That's what I did, rather than having Tolisso standing in his way and taking up a position. So again, I know Ahmad likes him, and to be fair, he did play well when he played against United.
He's a good player, isn't he? He is a good player, yeah.
He is a good player, but we can't be falling down that Casemiro pit again. It has to be. We have to be looking forward, not backwards.
I see what you're saying. Last 2 Croppers transfer corner this week are both goalkeepers. We've mentioned the names before, but there is more movement. Is Emi Martinez, 20 to 30 million euros, and John Victor, again from Botafogo. He seems like the Victor one might be more of a backup to Onana, from what I've been reading through the lines. Good value for money. And the Emi Martinez one, he would not come in as backup. He would obviously be starting goalkeeper. Good thing we're looking at goalkeepers. You know my thoughts on Emi Martinez. But obviously with Onana playing on the swamps in Cameroon pre-season and coming back not fit, what are you doing? What are you playing at? And then coming back, and is it 8 to 10 weeks he's out now or something like that? We need a goalkeeper.
It's out for pre-season for sure.
He's out for pre-season. I would. Now, the thing is you can't sell him now, can you? And whether they were looking at selling him anyway, you can't sell a man that's injured. So he's obviously here for the season now, isn't he? So that's another decision made out of the manager's hands. So, but yeah, we're obviously looking at a goalkeeper. Let's see which way they go. I think the Emi Martinez is the direction the club are looking at going.
That's the one that today, I mean, just before we came on air, and even now, the Argentinian press are going crazy with. They're saying that he's very close to signing. Amorim has personally gone to the top bosses, gone to Wilcox and Barada and said, "We need to make this signing. We need him in the team." Which I get it. Like I don't hate it. Premier League experience, I'll take it. He didn't have a dissimilar record to Onana last season, which is very concerning. In terms of the goals that he's conceded, but they did finish higher up the table. I do think he's got more of a commanding presence in the side. I do think he's one of those players that doesn't suffer from nerves. I think he's all in. And I think, Baindé, Onana, they both got done from corners last season because they're soft asses. But I can't see that happening with Emi Martinez. I think he'd just be, he'd be throwing an elbow in there or a forearm when he's coming to claim the ball.
This is the issue. There is the issue lies. Yeah. What he did at Old Trafford to Highland, it's another one. It's another mistake waiting to happen. But, hey, who am I to say? He's better than Onana.
Mate, he just wanted that early Stretford end round of applause. That's why he got sent off. He was like, I'll be here next season, lads.
Yeah.
I'll be here next season. One of the quotes from the Argentinian press that I've got here is just, it's amazing. I'm sure it's been put through Google Translate, but I'll just read the full thing out to you. It's almost like poetry. Emiliano Martinez puts the historical prestige of Manchester United above playing in Europe next season. He considers joining United a transcendent step in his career at club level. Transcendent step in his career at club level, mate. We're always big. Always big, Man United. That's the thing. But that quote caught my eye, and I was like, "Bloody hell!" That's a lot. That is stuff. Right. Before I have got one more player here, but I wanted to just end this section with we're going to fold in one of the features we're going to do later, but we're going to do the last player that I've got is Dusan Vlahovic, which again, please stop linking this person. Stop linking this person to Manchester United. Like he wasn't good enough at Juve. There's talks of them cancelling his contract. That never happens to a player that's doing well. I'm saying that now. Never happens to a player that's doing well that they cancel their contract. So forget him. Now, what we did was, and I've got Ahmad's here as well. We had on our WhatsApp group. We was messaging each other. We're going to do 200 million kits here. We'll run through the players quickly because we're pressed for time there. But we've got 200 million kit here. And all of these transfer fees I've got anyway are accurate to transfer market. So if you've got any problems with this, listeners, you take them up with transfer market because that's what they're saying their market value is right now. So who have you got then? You got 200 mil. Who have you got, mate?
I've gone for a goalkeeper straight away because that's what we need. I've gone for Mike Maignan, AC Milan. Linked with Chelsea, 30 million. I think you could get him for 30 million. I think he's a miles better than what we've got. He'd be my first choice in there. I've gone for a spine, Nathan. That's where I've gone straight down the middle.
All right. Go on, man. Spine, then?
Mark Gahey from Crystal Palace would have been one of my main first people in the door. Pre-season, he's in. I think he could have been captain material. I think he's top notch, Mark Gahey. I've put 60 million for him. I think you could get him for 60.
Well, I'll tell you right now. He's also in my team, and according to Transfer Market, it says 40 mil.
Bargain.
And I know that they had
two of them.
I know that they. I'll have to say two. I know that they basically said that he was. I think Liverpool had a bid projected that was around that 60 million mark, wasn't it?
Right. So that's where I thought. I know we'll link with Newcastle as well, yeah. But yeah,
we'll go with the prices that we've got here. Who else have you got, mate?
Yep, I've got two centre midfielders. Either or would have done me. Edison from Atlanta. I've seen bits of him, but the glowing reference that Owen Hargreaves gives him every time he talks about it, you see Owen Hargreaves' face light up. Edison, 40 million. Legs for days, will run all day. I think he's exactly what I need in the centre midfield alongside one of the others. Or Angelo Stiller for Stuttgart, who is such a classy player, was linked with City. We'll go to when he will link me a classy player. Another centre midfielder, because I think, so I've got a defender, I've got a goalkeeper, a centre half, a centre midfielder. But either of those two in centre midfield, I think would have done a job. 40 million, I think could get both of them done.
Are you taking both of them, yeah? You taking both?
No, just one or the other. I'll have one. I'll have one. I'm not being greedy here, Nathan, We've got to save money for a forward because in the team, you need a forward. So I've saved a bit of money for a forward and I've gone for Mateta because I think you asked me for realistic targets. I think Mateta is realistic and I think he would be perfect for what we want. Obviously, with all the other forwards that we're linked with going at 40 million, 30, 40 million. Yeah. Ollie Watkins was another one on there. Muani from PSG was another option, but I think Mateta would be realistic. And like I said, all the other forwards in the world going elsewhere, I think he would be the one that's not left over, because I don't think he'd be a terrible option. But yeah, that's my spine. And I think if Ineos got that done, we'd be in a much better situation than what we are now.
That's fair. That is fair. I'll go through Ahmad's first. I'll read his and then I'll go through mine. So Ahmad over WhatsApp, again, economical with his words, but straight to the point, lays the targeted. He says Watkins 50 mil, Wharton 80 mil, Emi Martinez 25, and Baliba 55. Okay. I need to do the maths on that. Has he done it
the
right
Adam
there?
Wharton one, he's a ready-made United player, Adam Wharton, but I think he's got better options in United, mate, if he moves.
Do you think so?
Honest. Yeah. I think if he became available, the likes of Liverpool, City, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich could be looking at him instead. I think he'd have miles better options, that kid.
He might be a man of few words, but he's not a man of maths, because he's gone 10 million over there.
I tell you. Oh, yeah.
He's gone over. Although I've kind of gone over a little bit on mine. So I've gone with, and again, these are all from Transfer Market, mate. These are all the fees that are associated with them. So any listers, any complaints, you get in touch with them, all right? Because these are the prices that are attached to them. So I've gone Emi Martinez as goalkeeper, 17 mil. Okay.
Yeah.
Strong character, Premier League experience, and command the defence, and crucially, stop shots, which is what you need from a goalkeeper. And I have gone Mark Gay as well, Nate. And I've gone 40 mil. And I tell you why. Well, because that's his fee on transfermarket.com. But also, he definitely gives us more pace across the back line with Heaven and Euro alongside him. I think that would be the amazing back three that you could possibly get. But I also think that because they've been relegated to the Conference League, Palace, I think they may have to sell some players if they don't get put back up into the Europa League, because I think the money that they get from that is slightly lower. Definitely the TV rights. So I think a cheeky 40 million bid might get it done, but it might not as well.
I think you get told to sling it at 40 million, Nathan.
I think you probably would, but then I would produce my phone. I would log on to transfermarket.com to John Texton, and I would say, "Well, this is what they said. This is what they said, mate." And he'd have to hand him over.
London prices, mate. You're looking at there. It's £10 an ice cream down there. I got told. 15 quid a pound. You're not getting Mark Gay for 40 million. But go on. Who's next?
But fair enough. One of Ahmed's ones as well. I've got Baliba from Brighton. I've got him down as 40 mil. The new Kante, the new Makalele, the new water carrier. That's what you want. And I think
take the old Kante. Take the old Kante. I like it.
I mean,
I bet he's still running.
Well. I would as well. To be fair, he's a good. I think because he's so good and because he is so quick in those central midfield positions in the defensive side of things, and he can get forward as well. But I think he's so good in those areas that he would unlock Bruno. He would unlock Mainu, because they would be able to push a little bit further forward, take a bit of the pressure off, have that recovery pace that they don't have. He would be able to provide that and get back into position.
Yeah.
And then moving further up the pitch, and I said realistic, and I still think it could still be realistic if United really, really tried for it. And that's Victor Osimhen, because I think that fixes any problems that you've got going forward. I think you've got guaranteed goals. It's exactly what we need right now. And I think 60 million is his fee. I think that's the fee that they want.
Yeah.
Over
so many years as well.
Yeah. Is it Galatasaray that are trying to buy it?
I thought it was Fenerbahce, to be fair, mate. But
I can't remember. No, it's Galatasaray, isn't it? Isn't that where it was last year? I've been wrong before.
Double check, Nathan. Yeah. I'm just trying to think whether I'm not well, so I'm not fact checking.
Well, he can't even use his fingers.
I'm not well. Wait, it's not the whole. It's not Jose's team, is it? It's the other one.
So it's Galatasaray because he's at Fenerbahce. Yeah,
I should know that, to be fair. Sorry, listeners.
But
I don't think it's realistic.
Trying to get him. Hang on, I'm still going. And
go on.
Galatasaray are still they're trying to get bank loans to pay for this.
Really?
So it's not like they've got cash. They're flush with it, and they can just go and pick him up. So I still think there is an option that they could get it. But it's moving parts, mate. It's moving parts.
Yeah.
I think the 200 million, we're talking dream scenario. The 200 million that we're talking about there would involve the sale of Rashford, the sale of Sancho, the sale of Garnacho. Do you know? And that could be, he'd be the ideal person to put into that position. And I think I'm under there. I'm under with that amount of money. I think we've still got 43 million left to spend there. And what I would do with that last 43 million, mate, is I would give Aston Villa 20 and Garnacho, and I would take Morgan Rogers.
Ooh, yeah, what a player he is. Yeah. Yeah, you're not going to get him, right? But you know, it's all hypothetical, Nathan. But it shows you how if we're three lads can come up with a list, these professionals at Old Trafford should be doing a similar thing, shouldn't they? What the hold-up is, I don't know.
Okay, before we go, we've got a couple of things we need to do. Paul has something that he wants to get off his chest, which we're going to do at the end of this. But in the office yesterday, in the studio, we with Chris McCarty, who's the host of Dubai Eyes The Score. He's also the host of the Obi-Wan podcast with John Obi-Mikel. And the Pit Talk podcast with ex-Red Bull driver Robert Dernbos. So he does all these podcasts, but he's an encyclopedic knowledge of sports in general. He's just off the charts. So we played this game yesterday, which felt unfair, but I did run in close with it. But I want to try this out with you, mate. He did. Okay. So he created this game. What you have to do is, it's basically like darts, okay? So you start from 501. What we're going to take Manchester United appearances, right? Total league appearances to try and get down to 0. Now, Chris, yesterday, managed to get down to 0, and I won't tell you the names of them all, because obviously that'll give it away. He did it in 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 players.
Wow.
So what you've got to do is you got to tell me a player. I will search for them, and I will tell you their scores, their appearances, and you basically not got to go bust. I'll give you 1 life at the end of it if you do go bust. All right.
So I'm starting highest and I'm going to lowest.
You can start high, yeah. So 501 is the score that you need to beat, mate. Yeah, so here we go. Let's have your first one, mate.
Giggs.
Well, you're over. Scores over 600 appearances.
Well, we won't go there then. Got Wazza.
393.
For Wazza.
For Wazza, yeah.
Right, okay. So I need to go lower than...
So I'll tell you what you're on. 393. So you're on Wazza. 108 left for me. Who's your next one?
Karol Poborski.
Karol Poborski. He's gone safe here.
Lovely dink. He's got a lovely dink in him.
Pop the lob. But on the basis of scoring 1 good goal in the Euros.
In the Euros.
How many do you reckon he's got?
250. No, it can't have been 50, can it? 32.
Did you just say 32? That's exactly how many he's got, mate.
So, yeah. What a game this is. Take it all back.
32. Okay, take 32. So you are, Mr. Cropper, you have 76 left. And remember, you're trying to beat 4. You're trying to beat 4 players.
So I'm looking for... Let's go... Diego Forlan.
I feel like you're playing it safe here, mate.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of these are very safe.
Low balls, aren't they?
Let's have a look. Of course, we'll have a look. 63.
Ooh.
63. So you need, to beat Chris, you need 13. You need a player that's had 13 appearances, mate, to get down to 0.
I'm going to go with Massimo Taibi.
Taibi, mate. Are you sure? I'll give you another shout on that because I think he only played 2, mate.
Did he?
I'm giving you a little help here, but I think he played 2 games.
I think he had closer to 8 or 9, Nathan. I'm going to go with him. I'm going to go with Massimo Taibi.
4. 4 games,
watching a game the other day when we beat Liverpool at Anfield, and he just come out and couldn't catch a cold. Watching it all, oh my God. You're awful.
Awful. Let's go to the natural conclusion of this. Who would your mass player be? So you've had 4.
What, for 6 or 7 appearances? 9 appearances. I was going to say Jesper Blankqvist. Jesper Blankqvist, but he's got a lot more than that, hasn't
he? Yeah, he has. Come on.
No.
Just give me a name, name. Do it.
I can't think of any names that I'm not playing now.
Do it.
Van der Hau.
He has 37.
No.
Dust.
Yeah. Garbage. Garbage.
Try that again another time. Shall I tell you?
When my brain's working. Yeah.
All right.
I like it.
Fair enough. Shall I tell you who Chris had?
Yep.
So he had Cristiano Ronaldo, 346.
Nice.
Ronnie Johnson was 150. Then he had Dong Fang Zhu, which was
brilliant.
Which was 3 appearances, and then William Prunier to top it off with 2 appearances.
Brilliant. Good knowledge. Dong Fang Zhu. Fantastic.
Dong Fang
you know what?
Zhu,
when you're under pressure, it's not easy, that game, is it? I think the names are coming in. Bebe. No, you know what I mean? These names are coming into your head now where you're like, oh.
While you're still angry and frustrated, let's get your rant out of you because you've had something on your chest that you wanted to get off it.
It's just,
let's have it.
I won't be the only one, Nathan, but speaking of not good under pressure, these owners are not good under pressure, are they? All week, I'm sure you and Ahmad have been putting things in the chat just to wind me up, just to get me a little bit more irate every day. Seeing all these stories. Anyway, you've got me. You've got a big one here, lads. We're being made a laughing stock by our owners at the minute. That's where I'm at. We're getting mugged off by the whole of football. You mentioned it before, where that thing where you are the lower league club with Malasia. And we're getting laughed at by everybody. Every single club. You go online, you go social media, even the accounts that are not biased or anything like that. They're asking United fans what's going on at your club, and we can't answer them. It's a message to Ineos, really, from me. But obviously they don't care what I say. But I won't be the only one, and I know. And you can see it building up. It's going to snowball this now. You've got 6 weeks. You've got 6 weeks to sort this mess out. We don't care about a new stadium. We don't care about new kits, retro kits, new sponsors. We don't particularly care about the kids that you're signing and putting in the U teams to make a profit and fill your own pockets. We United, we've always gone out and bought the best kids. We've always got the kids from around Manchester, from London, and put them in our U team. We've done that for years and years. This isn't something that you should be glorifying now. This is what we're going to do. Well, we've always done this. We've also always gone and bought the best player in the league and put him in the first team. We've also always challenged for trophies. What you're doing to our club, you're making us go backwards. That's where we're at. Stop sacking tea ladies. Stop sacking groundsmen and penny pinching there, and not putting your money into the club and getting the best 11 that you need to kick on. I see my voice is going. We need improvements in the first team 11. That's what we need. We don't, all the other noise that's coming out of Old Trafford, none of the fans care about it. We just want our first team 11 to challenge and do better than what we did last year. But that's the bare minimum. You need to be looking at European football. You've gone and bought one player, you brought in a youngster. You bought one player and he finished in a team below us. It's not good enough. You need to go and buy all these players. And you're going on about buying youth players, and I'm repeating myself there, for the next 4 or 5 years. We've not got 4 or 5 years to wait. We could get relegated. We've not got 4 or 5. You've got 4 or 5 weeks to turn this mess around, and I've got no faith in them whatsoever, unless they've got some master plan up their sleeve to get this sorted in the next 4 or 5 weeks. This spells disaster for United. Absolute disaster. And what you're seeing now on social media, when you're talking to everybody, is this is ramping up. The pressure on Sir Jim now and the Glazers is turning up again. And if you think that United fans are going to take it lying down, one signing, it's not going to end well. It's really not going to end well for him. And for Sir Jim to put himself in the firing line, which is exactly what he's done for the Glazers, I can't understand what he's getting out of this for himself, because he's making a mockery of the club. That's where I'm at. And that's all this week has just been ramping up. And every single day that this Brown and Burmo transfer drags on, you're making us look stupid.
I think you probably speak for 99% of fans right now, because I think everyone is in that, most people are in that same position. They've had enough. And yeah, you're right. It's the mockery that United fans are facing. But more than that, it's just there seems to be a complete lack of ambition, and there seems to be a complete lack of transparency from Ineos, from Barada, from Wilcox. Like, all we want to know is what the plan is. Like, you don't have to tell us specific names. You don't have to say which targets you're going after, but you just have to say, our plan is to back Ruben Amorim with the squad replacements that he needs, and turn it into the team that is going to be challenging for the top of the Premier League again this summer. It's going to take time, but rest assured, we're all working on it. This is what we're doing. This is the direction we want. We have the lists. We have this. We have that. It is like, trust us. It's going to happen. Just say something. Say something. Because what's not helping is me and you having to guess and coming up with the worst. Because that's what you'll do. And that's what every fan will do. And I think,
go on.
And I think that's probably something that they're keeping an eye on, but they will never admit to. Them looking at this, they know that this, like, releasing the purple kit, which is all right, by the way, but releasing that purple away kit is not going to placate fans for long, especially if you're going on pre-season tour with one new signing. Diego Leon was bought in January. He can't even count him as a new summer signing. Like, it doesn't work like that.
The penny pinching in this transfer window. How much did they pay Dan Ashworth? How much did they pay Eric Ten Hag? How much did they pay these people that they've made mistakes themselves, and now that you're trying... The first team is the most important thing in the club. If your first team is garbage, your whole club is garbage. Make that better first, and then do all the other stuff behind the scenes. You've made mistakes, and you're making more and more worse mistakes. I don't know where you can go from here, but surely your priority is the first team. You signed one player, and I'll repeat it. He finished behind us last year. We had our worst season. It's pathetic. You've got to make that first team better. And you're making no progress on making the first team better. The names we're linked with again. They're not making the first team any better. Me, you and Ahmad have come up with a list. Miles better than the names we're being looked at. Miles better. And these mistakes, like I said, you penny pinching. What did they pay Dan Ashworth? Have you got the figures there?
No, but it was more than what they're probably quibbling over for Brian Mbeumo right now.
Exactly. Yeah, well, but they paid him off, didn't they? They got him out. We still never got a full story about that. They made the mistake of keeping Eric Ten Hag on, paid him off. That money could have been used just to buy players. Make that team better. Make Ruben Amorim, make the 11 better. He's got one player there that's come in. We all know what this system, what these players can do, because we saw it last year. He's gone again. We saw what this group of players can do. We all saw it last year. We know that it doesn't fit the system. We know they're not good enough. One player doesn't make a difference. Pathetic. I've got loads more here, but I'll save it for another day.
I know. And if it wasn't for the fact that I needed to get changed and get out of here to my actual day job or night job, I'd be here for it, mate. But do you know what? Let's turn it into a regular thing, because I think we're going to be frustrated between now and in the end of the transfer window anyway. So let's keep it going. So on that bombshell, I do appreciate you having that off your chest, mate, and I'm sure it will continue into the WhatsApps throughout the day. But It's been a pleasure, as always, mate. Unlucky on the 501 game. We'll try that again with a different one next time.
Well, because you sprung it up on me, I was rubbish and my brain wasn't working. Now,
come on.
I'm in it.
Come on. No, he's crying, looking. Crying.
Yep.
You can't cry now.
Ed's gone.
Oh, his head's gone. Right, okay. Thanks for listening, as always. And do check us out on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube as well. We've also got a newsletter that's on Substack, all under the name of Fergie Scum, where we add more absolute nonsense that doesn't make it to this podcast. You might even see another poll about on the newsletter this week. Anyway, thank you, and we'll speak to you next week.